It happens over and over again throughout history. Parents who raise their kids to fulfill the dreams that they weren't able to fulfill themselves. In music especially, both the Wilsons and the Jacksons were victims of their parents' toxic dreams. This is a rock and roll fairy tale about three sisters who never even wanted to form a band. In the 1960s in Fremont, New Hampshire, Austin Wiggin decided his daughters, Dot, Betty, and Helen, were destined for musical greatness. All because he'd gone to a fortune teller and she'd predicted it to him. Austin took this prophecy seriously, way too seriously. He pulled the girls out of school, bought them guitars and drums, and demanded relentless practice sessions, even though they had no musical training. These sisters played until their fingers hurt, but to their father, it was fate calling. By 1969, Austin scraped together enough money to record an album at Fleetwood Studios in Massachusetts. The result was called Philosophy of the World. It sounded like nothing else. Offbeat rhythms, wandering guitars, and lyrics that kind of baffled listeners. It was not commercial, it was barely musical. After a botched distribution that left most copies missing, the record never even had a chance to get off the ground. The Shaggs, without major label backing or a radio hit, quietly returned to their small town life. Then suddenly in 1975, Austin died of a heart attack, and without their father's relentless push, Dot, Betty, and Helen stepped away from music. Relieved, yet a little conflicted. For them, the Shaggs had been their father's dream, not their own. But decades later, of course, the funniest thing happens. Philosophy of the World becomes kind of a cult hit. People like Kurt Cobain, Frank Zappa are praising them. Frank half-jokingly even called them better than the Beatles. Eventually, Dot Wiggin formed a new band, playing music her own way, free from the pressure of the past. And what began as one father's misunderstood vision ended as a cult classic, celebrated precisely for its imperfections. And in the weirdest way, Austin Wiggin's dream did come true.